Let's get real. If he wants you, why isn't he chasing you? Why is he sitting in silence while you're sitting in confusion? You think he's just busy? You think he just needs time? Let me tell you something. You're about to see the truth, and it's going to change everything. Because silence is never an accident. Silence is an answer. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Why are you accepting silence as an answer? Why are you sitting there overthinking, checking your phone, making excuses for him? Why are you giving him all the power while you sit in confusion wondering what you did wrong? Because here's the truth, and I need you to hear me on this. If a man truly values you, he will never leave you wondering. Never. I don't care how busy he is. I don't care how much stress he has at work. I don't care what kind of past trauma he's dealing with. When a man values you, when a man truly wants to be with you, he does not risk losing you. He does not put you in a position where you have to question his intentions. He does not disappear and come back when it's convenient. A man who knows your worth does not gamble with your heart. But silence is a game. Silence is a power move. Silence is a man keeping you on the hook just enough to make sure you're still there while he decides what's best for him. And what do? You wait. You check your phone. You tell yourself, maybe he just needs time. Maybe he's going through something. Maybe he's just afraid of commitment. But let's be real. That's not space. That's not emotional struggle. That's control. Silence is not a lack of communication. It is a form of communication. It tells you everything you need to know. Because when a man goes silent, when he pulls away, when he disappears and resurfaces when he feels like it, what he is really saying is, I don't value you enough to be consistent. I don't see you as a priority. I expect you to be there no matter how I treat you. And here's the hardest part to hear. The moment you accept this, the moment you justify his silence, you are teaching him exactly what he can get away with. You are showing him that your standards are flexible, that he can put in the bare minimum and you'll still be there, that he doesn't actually have to work for you because you will always be the one waiting. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if he's going through something? What if he's scared? What if he doesn't know how to express himself? Listen to me. A man who is afraid to lose you finds a way, every single time. A man who truly wants you does not disappear into silence. Even if he is going through the hardest time of his life, even if his world is falling apart, he will still make sure you know where you stand. He will still communicate. He will still reassure you. Because when a man sees you as his future, he does not risk losing you. You've seen it before. You've seen a man chase a woman like his life depended on it. You've seen a man move mountains to be with someone he truly wanted. And yet, when it comes to you, you're making excuses for why he's not showing up. You're convincing yourself that he just needs time, that he just needs space, that maybe if you hold on a little longer, he'll realize what he has. Let me tell you something that will set you free. If a man's interest in you is so fragile that it disappears the moment you stop chasing, then you never really had him. If a man only comes back when he feels you pulling away, then his attachment is based on control, not love. Because love is not something you have to convince someone to give you. A man who truly wants to be with you will make sure you know it. There will be no doubt. There will be no guessing games. There will be no periods of silence where you're left questioning your worth. But if you keep waiting, if you keep making excuses, if you keep hoping he'll come back and be the man you need him to be, you are wasting your own time. You are giving him permission to keep treating you this way. And worst of all, you are teaching yourself that this is what you deserve. You deserve more than mixed signals. You deserve more than inconsistency. You deserve more than a man who only wants you when it's convenient. And here's the shift that needs to happen. The moment you stop fearing his silence and start seeing it for what it is, a lack of respect, a lack of commitment, a lack of value, you take your power back. The second you decide that inconsistency is no longer acceptable in your life, you become the one in control. Because a man who truly values you will never put himself in a position to lose you. He will never risk another man stepping in. He will never risk you waking up one day and realizing you deserve better. And if he does, if he plays games, if he disappears and expects you to still be there, then let him go. Let him go Not because you want to teach him a lesson, not because you hope he will come back, but because you finally understand that real love, real commitment does not require you to sit in confusion. The right man will never make you feel like an option. The right man will never leave you wondering where you stand. The right man will never be silent when it comes to you. So if he is silent, let him be. If he is unsure, let him go. If he is inconsistent, walk away. Because the man who is meant for you will always make sure you hear him loud and clear. You've been told that if you want something, you have to fight for it. You have to hold on, be patient, show them your worth, prove that you're the one. But let me ask you something. How many times have you done that and still ended up hurt? How many times have you bent over backward only to be met with silence, excuses, and inconsistency? Let me tell you the truth that no one else is willing to say. Stop chasing, start choosing. The moment you shift from being the one who waits, hopes, and pleads for effort to being the one who decides what is and isn't acceptable in your life, everything changes. Think about this. How much of your energy have you spent trying to figure out why someone isn't showing up for you? How many sleepless nights have you wasted trying to decode mixed signals, wondering if you did something wrong? How many times have you lowered your standards just to keep someone around? And for what? To hold on to someone who doesn't even see your value? To keep a relationship alive when you're the only one doing the work? To make sure they don't leave even though deep down you know they already have? The truth is, when you chase, you put yourself in a position of weakness. You tell them, I need you to choose me so I can feel worthy. But the second you flip that energy, the second you decide that you're the one doing the choosing, that's when everything shifts. A man knows when a woman is in her power. He knows when she's waiting around for him, and he knows when she's the one calling the shots. And let me tell you something. Men step up for the woman they're afraid to lose. A man who values you will not play with your time, will not leave you confused, will not put you in a position where you have to wonder what's going on. He will make sure you know exactly where you stand because he won't want to risk losing you. But if you're constantly chasing, constantly justifying his silence, constantly making excuses for why he's not showing up, he has no reason to change. Why? Because he knows you'll always be there. He knows he doesn't have to choose because you're already choosing for him. And that's where the real problem is. You've been so busy trying to keep him, trying to make it work, trying to prove your worth, that you forgot to ask yourself the most important question. Do I even want this? Does this make me happy? Is this the kind of love I deserve? Because let's be honest, if you were truly choosing, if you were really in your power, you wouldn't tolerate inconsistency. You wouldn't settle for half love. You wouldn't hold on to someone whose actions don't match their words. You would recognize that a man who is unsure, a man who plays games, a man who doesn't put in effort is not the man for you. And yet here you are, waiting, hoping, giving chance after chance, believing that maybe, just maybe, if you hold on a little longer, things will change. But let me ask you, how much longer are you willing to wait? How many more signs do you need before you finally decide that you deserve more? Because the second you stop chasing, the second you stop settling, the second you stop giving your time to people who don't value it, you take your power back. You stop being the one hoping to be chosen and start being the one who does the choosing. And that's where everything shifts. Because here's what happens. When you walk away from inconsistency, from half-hearted effort, from a man who only wants you when it's convenient, one of two things will happen. He will either step up or he will step out. And either way, you win. Because a man who truly values you, a man who genuinely wants to be with you, will not let you walk away without a fight. He will not let silence be the thing that stands between you. He will not risk another man stepping in. But if he lets you go without trying, if he watches you leave and does nothing to stop it, then you have your answer. He was never yours to begin with. And that's what you need to understand. A man who disappears and comes back only when he feels you pulling away doesn't want you. He wants control over you. He wants to keep you on the hook just enough so that you never fully walk away. And the second you recognize that, the second you refuse to play that game, you set yourself free. Because the right man, the one who truly wants to be with you, will not require you to chase. He will not put you in a position where you have to question his intentions. He will not be silent when it comes to you. So stop chasing. Stop trying to prove your worth to someone who isn't even looking. Stop settling for less than what you deserve just because you're afraid of being alone. Because I promise you this, choosing yourself will never leave you empty. When you shift from waiting to deciding, from hoping to knowing, from chasing to choosing, you become unstoppable. And the man who is meant for you, the man who will value you the way you deserve, will see that. So if he is inconsistent, let him go. If he is unsure, step away. If he is silent, do not chase after answers. Because the right man will never make you question your worth. And when you finally choose yourself, you will realize that you never needed to be chosen in the first place.